what's going on, everybody? It's your boy zexion here. Welcome back to my first ever ranking video. Now in this video we're going to be ranking every single Kingdom Hearts 2.5 Final Remix boss, the data replicas from the Organization 13, Sephiroth, and Lingering Will. That's what we're called, or Terror as you guys may know him. Now this was a lot of fun to make, but before this video gets into any further, I want you guys to know that these are my personal opinions, and everybody is right to have their own opinions. You guys may think that some are better than others, some are weaker than others. They're not to me, or they might be the opposite to me. But these are all my opinions. You guys are fully, full-fledged to be able to let me know in the comments down below if you guys have any disregards or you disagree with any of these. I have video recordings of everything, and I will show you guys right here that well, the next, not right here, but right in the next image after this, I will show you guys the stats I had, because I had almost maxed out stats, and that's why these were pretty fast. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the video. And up first, the easiest organization replica is what's his name? Psyx. There we go. Now, the reason why Psyx is the easiest is, as you guys can see for this damage, he is very easy. Now, you can go ahead and defeat him without him using his DM. There's a lot of replicas out there that you can defeat them without them using their DMs. Psyx being the easiest one. And you guys can go ahead and watch right there why I think he's the easiest. If you guys don't think Psyx is the easiest, you think somebody else is, go ahead and comment down below. But this is my belief. I think Psyx is the easiest. He does have his little DM, but again, if you can play things out right, you don't even need to worry about his DM. So that's my idea of why I think Psyx is the easiest, because you can completely dodge his DM. And let's go right on to the next one. Now, the second easiest replica from the organization team is Luxor. Now, the reason why Luxor is extremely easy is because of this little scrape ground right here. He is so, like, just using the magic reflect or reflega, this makes any boss very easy. But this guy is, he's literally nothing. He's like an ant being stepped on by somebody. I mean, I'm no sunburn albino where I can be amazing with like timing. But this guy, it's almost easy to just predict what he's doing, and some things you can just brute force, like right there. Just by doing explosion, I didn't get hit at all by his move. And this move right here is the biggest middle finger to what you call an amazing move, which can kill your teammates and yourself as well. But the only thing is, I guess, just his power. Even though his power level may look scary, it's really nothing. Especially when you bring him out of it. So now, I don't know. This is my thoughts on who I think is the second easiest, at least. But you guys can let me know if you think Luxor is easier or harder. Now let's move on to the next one. Now up is our not second, I'm an idiot. Up next, the third easiest replica is Zaldin. Now, if you guys may be confused of why I put him here, is because just like I said before with Psyx, you can completely defeat him without having to go through his DM at all. I'm pretty sure he used his DM in this one, and I didn't really do it the best, if that makes sense. But I've done it before where you completely can defeat him without him using his DM at all. Now, it might sound weird or hard to do it, but as I told you guys before, or you guys saw the stats, the strength, the defense, and magic, everything's gonna be going crazy. So that's why the DMs can be going insane. But this is my thought on who the third easiest is. If you guys have anything different to say, go ahead and let me know. The fourth easiest member to defeat extremely fast is Axel. Well, not extremely fast, but I think the easiest to have fun. I think Axel is one of those organization members, as Sunburn Albino said himself, that is extremely easy to get a grip on what you're supposed to do. And as I said before, he is also another person you can completely defeat without having to worry about his DM. And even if you do get caught by his DM is so easy to beat, or at least to just get rid of. It's just block again, and then dodge roll. That's it. It's not like Zaldin where you have to mash square or anything like that. But yeah, right here, there's about 3/4 or 2/3 of his health already gone from one phase. Now, if somebody to think or go ahead and otherwise say that it's the timing right here that you have to go right here for. I'm not making a lot of sense. But what I'm trying to say is, whenever he goes to do his attack and you have to block it in order to have this happen, some may say that catches you off guard, and the thing on the ground, you need to have once more activated. That's really all you need to know. But once you get a grip on what you're doing, Axel can be dead in less than a minute. Just like there. That's my thoughts, and I think the fourth hardest one, fourth hardest one is, or easiest. I'm an idiot. And I'm still new to making these videos, so give me some slack, but that's what I think the fourth one is. The next one is going to be Zexion. Now, Zexion, he is another one that you don't even have to worry about his freaking DM. It's literally, I think if you watched Bloody Biscuit, not Bloody Biscuit, Biscuit 047, if you watch him, he literally does this exact same thing that I do. And he can be dead in less than a minute. Literally, just right here. Fire Raga spam right there, and he can't do anything because the Fire Raga doesn't count towards going his DM value, and the extra Keyblade hits also don't go towards his DM value. And boom. It's literally nothing you have to worry about. Zexion is... he's definitely... The reason why I didn't rank these guys harder or easier than another one is because I don't find them that hard. But the next hardest one, number 6, yes, 6 is Vexin. Now, Vexin, he takes me, sometimes he'll take me a few tries to beat because of these little things right here, and he can also form his own little anti-Sora, if you guys didn't know, which I don't know why you wouldn't know. But he can be defeated just as easy as Zexion, where you just use Fire Rug with Final Form. But the only thing that he has is after you get him halfway health, he can do this little move right here, and it can take you all the way down to 1 health if you don't know how to dodge him. Now, the best way to dodge these ice things right here is to just dodge roll at the right time, and anytime he gets close, is to just double jump and glide to the other side of the map. Sometimes these ice blocks will come at you, sometimes they won't, but when he starts doing this, of course I had to heal a bit, but just jumping in the air and gliding over it is the best solution you have. Now, the best way to time that right there is as soon as you see your screen glow a bit of white, immediately either dodge roll or quick run. And that's how you can dodge getting frozen and being instantly one-shot, which everybody loves getting hit, right? But no. But Vexin, yeah, he's not the hardest one like before. He's very easy to do. But just with a few bit of timing and you can get him. So yeah, this is who I think is the 6th hardest between the 15. Let me know if you think otherwise, and we'll go on to the next one. Up next for our 7th hardest organization member to defeat is Zigbar. That's his name. Now Zigbar, he'll be changing the field. He's not the hardest. I screwed up here. I was trying to do Final Form, but I accidentally did Wisdom Form. But we got back this time. Now here's the thing about Zigbar is he doesn't stagger easily, and sometimes even during these little moves right here, he can escape. But also another thing that makes him a little more difficult than a few others is just right there, he escaped. But one thing that makes him more difficult is that he can't stay still. He can't be kept in one area just using Fire Raga constantly, and he almost always is gonna go into his DM like that. And the thing is, his DM isn't hard, but there's pretty much no way to avoid it. It's gonna happen whether or not you wish it wouldn't, or you can just waste about 20 more minutes of your time than you have to just to beat him without going through his DM. But yeah, right here, that's his DM. It's really easy, just running in a circle, and then just one more combo, or reflecting more of the things right there back at him, and he's toast. Now, this is who I think the 7th easiest one, because I don't know. I've been playing this game since for so long. I've played it back on the PlayStation 2, but I wasn't as good at it or as strong as I was now, and this was just a lot of practice. But anyways, this is the 7th hardest one I think is, and let's move on to the next one. Now, the 8th hardest replica is Marluxia or Marluxia, whatever you guys want to say. It's tomato and potato. You guys know what I mean. So Marluxia or Marluxia, I'm going to call him Marluxia for now. He is not the hardest, but he's also not the easiest. He's a lot more harder than most, since he can put that little roast thing on you to explode you. And sometimes he'll do moves like that multiple times, or at least multiple different moves at the same time, which the black pools will damage your health, not your little number on top. They'll damage your health, which is more crucial than just losing a few numbers. Now he teleports a lot just by doing 2 finishers on him. Yeah, finishers. But I don't find him the hard. He's definitely not the hardest. I think the hardest is more closer to the end. But there are some things that make him easier. Like, if you just are able to time out what he's able to do and continually move on, things will get so much more easier. His DM right here is also extremely easy to dodge, and then the best way to either get rid of his thing is just reflect for Reflega 4 times, and then let loose. Now, the thing that didn't happen here that I really wish didn't happen is I got into anti-form. The thing that sucks with anti-form is every time you go to do your final or your finisher, he's already off. right there. Now, it could be better, but it could be worse. But this is who I think the, what, 8th, I think? Yeah, the 8th hardest one. Let's move on to the next one. Up next as our 9th hardest replica organization member is Roxas. Now, Roxas is the one that gives me the most struggles. Or at least he's one of them that gives me more struggles, because sometimes he can do his little spinning attack, or there are some things that are just hard to block. But it's not. He's definitely not the hardest. Definitely not the hardest. But he's a lot more unpredictable. If that makes more sense. Now the thing with Roxas is he attacks almost every single moment you get, and he can do this 1 or 2 times depending on how much you down him, not down him, depending on how much you attack him with. So, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but Roxas is insane. There's those little pillars of light right there can stagger you, or it makes it hard for you to block. I was lucky that I was able to use Reflega to get out of that situation. And there's sometimes where they won't attack you, like right there. And sometimes when he goes to do his little orb move, they'll come out of nowhere and attack you. I can't tell you how many times I've died by that. And that little Keyblade, the double Keyblade spinning move right there, that brings you down to 1 health faster than Stitch can give you a freaking lick. If that I'm gonna try and edit that out. Probably not, though. But, yeah, he's definitely not the hardest, but he's a lot more unpredictable. That's my thought on who I think the 9th hardest one is. Let's move on to the next. The 10th hardest organization member is Demix. Now, when I say he's the hardest one, I don't mean he's hard to, like, lower his health. He's hard because of these freaking dance water dance things. Those little trials that go on every now and then. Those are more hard than the fight itself. If you guys have played against Demix, you know exactly well that if you try attacking them with your Keyblade, they'll turn into helicopters and copter off your freaking haircut. But the only way to beat them is if you either using Fire Raga or using Blizzaga. Blizzaga turning them into little musical notes that you can use to go crazy and get a whole lot in one move. Or Fire Raga can attack them but immediately down them. That's why people use the Wisdom form with crazy Fire Raga. Now, as I said before, he is not hard to battle at all. If anything, it's just this trial. That's who I think the 10th hardest one. I know you guys didn't get to see most of the fight, and it's just this. So, let's go ahead and go on to the next one, which is going to be number 11. Now, up next, the 11th hardest one is Luxine. Now, the reason why I say Luxine is the hardest is because with these little electric things, I hate the move right here. The best way you can do it is if you time it right, go over to her and stagger her. There are some times where the electricity will either hit you or not. But I found it, if you at least either fight through it or defeat her early enough, it won't be hard. Or at least it won't be that hard. Now, Luxine, she loves going twins on you. She loves doing twinsies, if that makes sense. Now, the thing is, with her having a lot lower of health than normal, like, I think, compared to normally, like, Roxas's and, Xemnas's, it's a lot more easier to defeat her. And right here. So, she's not that hard at by any means, because of her health being so low. And she's also another one where if you fight her long enough, you can completely dodge her DM. And Xemnas is the exact same way, it just depends on how you're going. But this is the 11th hardest for me, let's move on to the 12th hardest one. Now the 12th hardest organization member to fight, or the replica at least, is Luxor. The reason why Luxor is so high for me is because I cannot time things to save my life. Right there, I suck at timing. I almost was completely defeated by him. This game, because I need to get better at timing, and if the better at timing you are, the easier Luxor will be for you. Now, the way that I've tried to get back to normal is just trying to hit him as the dice, because if you hit him as the dice, the drive gauge will go down faster. Now, if you fight against a regular Luxor, you can defeat him without him using his DM. I still have no way of defeating Luxor without him using his DM on me. But yeah, his DM, if you failed his DM, it just turns you back into a dice, and then there's these little timing card games that you just have to find them. It's really not the hard, and then his little move before he used his little card game DM, it's really easy to just glide right over and such. But this is who I think the 12th hardest one is. Let's move on to the 13th one, and I'm sure you guys all know who that is. And as you guys can already tell, the 13th hardest replica organization member is going to be Xemnas. Now, Xemnas, Oh my god. The reason why he's one of the hardest for me is because of you see all that health up there, all them health points up there, them bars. That's basically him times 2. He has all that health in the game because he's got this form and another form that you fight with a replica organization member. Not organization member, what am I saying? A replica version of Riku that you fight when you beat the original version of him, and you defeat him the exact same way. Now, the first part isn't that hardest, of course. With the might and its insane amount of strength, it's just easily taking them down. About how many is that? I think 18 lines. I don't know how many that is specifically, but once you get them up to around 4 bars or lower, then this part comes where you have to go up to the building and get ready to do a reaction command. Now, this is the only reaction command in the entire game where timing matters. There's going to be 3 that appear. The first 2 you're going to want to ignore because they're not going to do anything to help you out. The third one, called Finish, that's the one you're going to want to use to finish him all the way down to 1 HP. If he does this, no matter what level part he's at, he's going to go to number 1. Then you're going to want to glide forward and use Fire Raga. Now, this guy, his first form isn't too much of a problem because it's just way too easy. If you're able to time your Reflega, if you even enjoy using Reflega, which I didn't in the beginning, this would be a bit easier. Now, this one is where Reflega doesn't exactly matter about timing, unless he goes into his "You shall go together" attack, which I didn't have to experience, thank God. Now, he did, I think, like 3 or 4 different attacks in this one, which was just the 2 lightning balls that he throws at you, the forward spikes, and then the lasers, before having to go against his freaking DM. Now, Xemnas, this form, is also another one you cannot go against, and make sure that you cannot defeat him without going against his DM. I cannot talk English, apparently, so sorry for all my stuttering. Haha, welcome to the channel. But yeah, if you do that, if you get him all the way to 1 HP, no matter how many times you attack him, you're not going to finish him because you're just interrupting his DM. But this DM right here, this moment, it is probably the most insane, intensifying moment in the game. We are constantly using both Sora and Riku simultaneously, mashing both X and triangle to make sure that both of them are deflecting like crazy. And I gotta tell you, the amount of times I've had to do this just to get the stats you guys saw, I had to fight each of these guys at least 30 times each, and it's insane. There was so much I had to do just to get this strong, and I had to go against this moment so many times. I fought Xemnas around 30 to 40 times, so my arms were definitely like jello in the end. But yeah, as I said before, you defeat Data Xemnas the exact same way you defeat the regular Xemnas with this cliche, over dramatic, over the top freaking moments. It's insane to me, but then after everything's done and you shoot the little keyblade opening moment into his chest, where you open up his non-existent heart, US heart, you go to be Irish apparently. Once you do that, then you can just jump over to his body and use Fire Raga. But now, the next strongest one is number 14, which is Sephiroth. Now, Sephiroth is extremely fun to fight. He's one of the strongest ones for me to battle because I have a lot of fun playing him. Not playing him, playing against him. He's one of those that they don't expect you to fight this strong, if that makes sense. Like they expect you to defeat him extremely early in the game. Sometimes you do, sometimes you will, and if you're like me, where I'm a little rebellious little arse, you defeat him whenever you want. So he has a good bit of moves. There is some times where he'll use his DMs, which is the fireball, but he's also another one of those bosses where you can defeat him without him having to use his DM. And this moment right here, once you get him low enough health, he goes into Super Saiyan mode, and he's still just as easy to hit. Now, if you just time everything right, he can be dead in less than a minute. But yeah, he's a lot more easier to fight if you're fighting only Xemnas 1. If Xemnas, his first form of Xemnas was the first thing that you had to fight and nothing else, Xemnas would be ranked a lot harder than Sephiroth if it was only his first form. But no, since he has 2 different phases, it's a lot more harder. Now, the hardest boss in Kingdom Hearts 2.5 Final Remix, you guys should have seen this coming. It is the Lingering Will. Now, Lingering Will, I fought this guy so many times that it's literally nothing hard to go against anymore. I did a stream where I went against him, seeing how many times I could fight him, or defeat him in a row, and it was quite a lot. You're gonna have to go see it for yourself if you want to figure out how many that was. So he's God, there's so little to talk about this guy after fighting him for so many times, in my opinion. I think, but he's definitely not hard. There's definitely some moves I was lucky he didn't use, but there was definitely a lot that he still used that either could have barely killed me, or that I barely saved myself when going against. The only thing that helped me was when I was doing these combos on him that did a crap ton of damage. That move right there, that he's shooting his little bow and arrow at you, if you get hit by that, you get into a lock command, where if you press, it's, I don't know, it's like another timing thing, and of course you guys know me, I hate timing things, so of course I don't want to get hit by that. But once you get him down low enough HP, he will get ready to do his DM move, and if you're unlucky, you have to face it 3 times at minimum before you can start defeating him. If you're lucky, like I am right now, where you only have to face it once and then he's dead. You're gonna want to make use of the limit drive, since that really does a whole lot of damage to him if you do it right. Now, right here for his special DM, if you block right, fly away, and then block, I think 3 or 4 times, you can pretty much dodge everything. Now, right here, where I was fortunate that I didn't have to fight him or go against his DM again, I was able to finish him off right here, and that will bring it to an end of our 15 hardest bosses ranked from easiest to hardest. If you guys have enjoyed, hit that like button down below, subscribe if you're new to the channel, hit that, turn on the notification bell to get notified anytime I make a new upload. Go ahead and check out my Twitch at Jack_the Jolteon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.